Yeah, welcome everyone. Thank you for joining us for today's virtual guest lecture on open source geospatial tools. Myself, I am Ramu Penki, currently working as an assistant professor of civil engineering, GeoMRIT. Today we are today we are presenting open source geospatial tools presented by Bobri Sachin Kumar. Now, without further ado, we will turn the time over to Mr. B. Sachin Kumar. Our presenter today is geospatial specialist. He done his masters from JNTU Institute of Science and Technology, masters from JNTU HIST, and he received his BTech from JNTU College of Engineering Sultanpur, and he's having certain skills like mapping, thematic layers generation, GIS data processing, GIS modeling, DZPS GPS field surveying, and DEM analysis and open source GIS tools. He's also having command on various softwares like QGIS, ArcGIS, Google Earth Pro, Google Earth Engine, HTML, basics of Python programming, MS Office, and AutoCAD. So he's having experience as a project scientist in National Institute of Rural Development and Panchayati Raj, Hyderabad, from 12th September 2019 to present. He also he worked as a project scientist for the project of Agroclimatic Planning and Information Bank APIB for Tehri district, Uttarakhand, and he is also having an experience as a project technical assistant for the project of use of geoinformatics for monitoring of rural roads under Pradhan Mantri Gram Sadak Yojana, and he is also actively involved in the various central government projects like Ministry of Rural Development MORD GOI projects like Integrated Watershed Development Program, as well as monitoring of CC roads in Andhra Pradesh under MGNREGA for the preparation of PMGSY DPR for Andaman Nicobar Islands. Okay, he is also participated in various workshops and conferences. He is also having various conference and reputed journals in various reputed journals. Thank you very much. Once again, thank you very much, sir, for accepting our invitation. Please continue, sir.
Thanks for brief introduction. This is the nice opportunity. I am getting nearly 20 students over here. Right now, I would like to start my session. This session is completely about open source geospatial tools, and I will give a brief idea about open geospatial tools. Is my screen is visible?
Yes, sir, it is visible.
Yeah, I think all of the people are having at least some idea about GS and remote sensing. Majorly, GS and remote sensing will consist nearly two major data types. One will be raster and another one will be vector. Raster will be having basic picture element as a pixel, and vector will having basic element as a point. Point of series of points will become line, and enclosed points boundary will become polygon. Anyhow, basic element of raster will be pixel, and vector element will be the point. It will be completely two data sets. Anyhow, we will deal with two type of these data sets. Raster will be, as I said, it will be pictorial information. It will be continuous information, like just a photograph. A photograph is the best example for the raster data. Admin boundaries and all the remaining things which are coming in terms of lines and points, polygons. These used to be referred as vector data. I will give a brief introduction about various raster data sources also. We have multiple data sources, but right now we are discussing about the open source. Open source is meant for free to access, free to use, without any commercial usage and without any price related. Will be free to use. As we are all are aware, open sources are not only meant for free usage, even we can contribute to open source. Whatever the things are happening, we can able to directly see and we can able to directly modify and change according to our user requirement. All are aware about commercial softwares. Commercial softwares also provide services, but the thing is, we don't have complete knowledge about that. What is going behind the screen, we can't able to access. It will having such limitations. It will provide a service, but what is going behind? What will be the process going on behind the screen? We are unable to get complete access. As we all are discussing about open source tools, as I said, GS data will consist majorly two types, raster and vector. Raster type data will be mostly satellite data. Satellite data will be provided by satellite sensors, which are placed in geosynchronous orbit or otherwise polar orbit. Mostly, we will depend on polar orbit satellite data for the remote sensing application purpose. What are the geosynchronous satellites are there? Those are especially meant for geospatial communication and satellite services like internet and telecommunication and weather monitoring. These type of activities will be done by geosynchronous satellites. Polar satellites will completely different from the geosynchronous satellites. It will always rotate in near Earth orbit. It will be placed around 900 kilometers above from the equator, and it used to rotate near to poles. That's why this satellite system used to refer as near polar orbit satellite systems. These data will be very useful. It will cover entire globe. As we are all aware about geosynchronous satellites, it will completely different. It will always look a particular area or particular country. It will provide services to that particular region only. But polar satellite will cover all over the globe, and it will give all the data which is essential for the complete global monitoring. These are the all are open source geospatial data sources. Bhuvan is a portal which is developed by NRSC. From Bhuvan, we can able to access a lot of services. I will show a few glimpses of Bhuvan also. Bhunidhi is also one of the data portal. We can able to download satellite data from the Bhunidhi portal. Especially all the remote sensing satellites of India, even some foreign satellite data also can easily access through this website, Bonidhi. And Survey of India also having one portal. Especially this portal will having OSM maps. OSM stands for Open Series Maps, which will be having 1:50,000 scale, especially which is surveyed by Survey of India, and those data is produced as a topo sheets in 1:50 scale. All this data will be accessed freely from the portal of Bhunaksha. Anyhow, I provided links and everything in this presentation itself. It will be accessible to anyone without any hesitation. ESGS Earth Explorer. It is the one of the famous data portal. All over the world, people are accessing data simply with reference to this website. Here we will get multiple satellite data information, such as Landsat data, shuttle radar topographic mission data, and Sentinel data. All the data will be provided in a single platform. USGS Earth Explorer. USGS stands for United States State Geological Survey. Anyhow, it is not Indian portal, but it will be free to use. We will get unlimited data from the USGS. Even we will get data from the 90s to till date. This will be a much more useful portal. And NASA Earth Data, it is also some of the mirror website like USGS. What are the services available in USGS? Similar services will be available in NASA Earth Data also. Apart from the USGS Earth Explorer, some more data sets also available in NASA Earth Data. ESA data portal. ESA stands for European Space Agency. As we all are aware about NASA, ESA also one of the space agency. Also do some research, and it will also having some good data sets like Sentinel. Sentinel will be one of the European Union satellite only. It will provide all over 10 meter spatial resolution data. So we will see all the data sets and everything. Pro, it will be one of the open source software only. We can able to see time series images, and we used to get brief idea of the particular location, how it will be in the past, how it will be right now. We can able to get brief idea using temporal satellite data imagery. It will having time series data. NOAA data. NOAA is meant for National Oceanic Observation Center of America only. It will give some sea-related information. Sea observation satellite data will be provided in this portal. Apart from the this portal, JAXA will be Japanese Space Agency. It is also having ALOS data. Advanced Land Observation Satellite. ALOS stands for Advanced Land Observation Satellite. Even we can able to get that data also freely without any data issues. These are the various data sensors and data satellites. These are the much more popular data sets. Throughout globally, people are using these data sets for research activities and application purpose. Landsat will be satellite of US, and as I said, Sentinel will be satellite mission of European Union. European Union countries will fund it for this project. This will continuously monitor and provide data set for entire global community. ResourceSat will be the one of the Indian satellite. It will having two sensors. One will be LIS and another one will be AWIPS. Anyhow, few data sets of the ResourceSat also available freely with some limitations in the Bhuvan portal. Cartodem is one of the. We have one more satellite apart from the ResourceSat. That satellite name will be Cartosat. It will be having much more finer resolution than ResourceSat. ResourceSat will provide data of resolution. LIS will be having resolution about 23.5 meters spatial resolution, and AWIP should be having around 53 meters. But Cartosat will be much more better than ResourceSat, but it will provide basically panchromatic data. Panchromatic is meant for single band. It will having only single band. It will provide information in black and white rather than color imagery. That will be the limitation of Cartosat, but it will be provide spatial resolution of 2.5 meter to 1 meter. Cartosat will be having two series of satellites. One will be Cartosat 1 and Cartosat 2. Within Cartosat 2, also two satellites are there to generate stereo pairs. With reference to stereo pair data only, we can able to derive DEM data. DEM stands for Digital Elevation Model. SRTM also one of the DEM source only. It will give topographic information. What will be the undulations on the Earth, especially 3D elevation data we used to get. MODIS and all this data will be available from the USGS itself. As I mentioned earlier, USGS will be one of the famous portal to get free data. Here I provided link. If anyone want data portal link, they simply need to click here. Just you need to click this. Get some basic login credentials. With that, you can able to get data directly from there. After getting that, we need to do some basic analysis. Without analysis, we can't able to generate a few products. For product generation, we required some software. Anyhow, a lot of softwares are there, but most of the things are commercial. RGS is the one of the commercial GS and remote sensing software data tool, but we can't able to get. It will be a free source. It is not a free source. It is a commercial source. But as I discussed earlier, we have open source tools also like QGIS. QGIS is the one of the famous platform to do all spatial analysis within a single platform. It will having all the facilities which is integrated with Python, Saga, Gross, and GDAL. These are the various open source tools. It will be integrated together in a QGIS. All these services will be accessible in QGIS in a single platform. It will be much more simpler and easy to use and user friendly also. Here I provided some links. By clicking over here, you will get some data sample. You can able to see data sample how them use will look like, and how bandwise data of the fine resolution satellite data will be looks like. You can able to get a brief idea over here. And Landsat, I provided three data sets. One will be them, and another will two things will be natural satellite observation satellites like Sentinel-2 and Landsat-8. I will discuss these portion afterwards. Now we will jump into the hands-on session. I will show some real-time applications over here. This will be the QGIS. As I said, QGIS is one of the popular software, and we can able to get free data analysis in QGIS platform. We will download some data from the Bhuvan, as I said. This is the Bhuvan portal. Here we will get satellite open data archive. In this option, we can able to get satellite data. We will download one data set from here. For that, we need to have some basic login credential. We can able to create login credentials, and we can able to access portal for downloading data. Here I will, for demonstration purpose, I will take some random data. Just we need to select whatever the tile we require. Just I'm selecting this one. After that, I will click next. It will having all the data sets with topo sheet number and coverage. We can able to view thumbnails also. This data is having thumbnail like this. It is cloud free. As we are seeing, it doesn't have any cloud cover. We will download this data. I'm downloading this data. It is downloaded as a zip file. We can able to extract data. I will add this satellite data to QGIS. As I said, QGIS is the one of the popular and open source. I will provided QGIS software details also in the presentation. You can download directly. I extracted this in this folder. This will be having some nomenclature. It is provided NE and 44M07. This is the basic nomenclature, which is actually topo sheet number, which used to having some coverage from which latitude to which latitude, which longitude to which longitude. According to spatial coverage, this nomenclature will be provided. And apart from that, it will having some data factorization and band number. uh, in general, blue band will be subjected to scattering. That's why Indian satellite doesn't have any blue band. Uh, this will be the band-wise information. In ResoSat list sensor, band 2 will be meant for green, and band 3 is meant for red, and band 4 is meant for near infrared, and band 5 is meant for shortwave infrared. And list sensor will be having spatial resolution about 23.5, as I discussed earlier. Here, this is the Usan Sagar. It is a part of Hyderabad. Even we can able to overlay Google imagery also here. Just I will overlay for the understanding purpose. Apart from this, even we can able to see with labels also. These features are available in a QGS as inbuilt features. This is the Sanjeevaya Park, and this is the Usain Sagar, and entire things will be there. Even we can able to see those things. As we are seeing, this is band-wise data. Anyhow, we need to prepare some false color composites. All people used to have some idea. If you study GS and remote sensing, in general, we used to prepare some Falcal composite. For that, we required some software tool. Here, we used to get that type of tools directly in the QGS. Just I am selecting bands which are present. Just I'm selecting three bands, 2, 3, 4. 2 is meant for green, and 3 is meant for red, and 4 is meant for near infrared. To prepare false color composite, we required only these three bands. That's why I'm selecting these bands. Please input button separately. After that, just you need to click run. We need to arrange bands in a certain sequence. To second one and first one, click apply. It is looking somewhat dull. That's why we need to have raster and enhancement tools also available QGS. We used to get like this. Here we can able to see built up area in white color, and whatever the red portions are there in the false color composite, like dense vegetation, which will be having good vegetation out there. Those areas will be reflected in thick red. As we are seeing some black color portions and some which is actually which are actually water bodies. Even we can able to get water spread cover also, measure area of that particular water body. Just I am mentioning this area of the water body randomly for the demonstration purpose. Here I will switch to square kilometers. This water body is one of the bigger water body. It's 0.76 square kilometers, as we are seeing here. it will provide a data set for any particular region. For Hyderabad, it will provide data sets again for after 2 days. It will come after 2 weeks location, and it will capture the data, and it will provide to us like this. Uh, we can able to detect what are the changes happened from time to time using satellite data. Such a type of observation we can make from these things. This will be one of the data set. Even we have much more data sets, as I said earlier, to download whatever we want from and USGS Earth Explorer freely without any cost. DEM is also one of the raster dataset only. We will add DEM data also. Even I will show how to download DEM data. Here we need to select Cartosat 1. Need to just take latest one, which will be the version 3R. Just I will take any area randomly, and I will proceed to next. We can able to download from, we can able to view the data. Data is somewhat looks like this. In general, it will have any detailed information, but it will having some elevation information. Because of that, it will be much more useful than regular one. Just I will download even that data set. I will show best examples of DEM data processing and what will be the advantage of DEM data. Just we need to extract data set. It is very simple, but you need to get some hands-on practice. After that, you can able to do very simply and easily. This is the TIFF file. TIFF is meant for tagged image file format. We need to add only this layer to QGIS. This data will looks like somewhat like this. We need to apply some pseudo colors also for the better understanding. Just I am applying these pseudo colors. Applied pseudo colors here appear dark color. These layers are meant for 179 elevation. Even we them will provide elevation data at that particular pixel. Uh, I mean Google Earth image. Processing as a portion of it, even we can able to visualize drainage pattern and flow accumulation models also. I will take part of them. I will clip a certain portion. I will do some subset. For demonstration purpose, I will take a small portion of this done. Just we need to click run. It clipped and it is giving in another color. Even we can able to change colors in the properties. Just we need to apply pseudo color and spectral colors. I will apply for to show variation. This will having this type of information, but right now we are not seeing anything in this image. It is just like a colored image. showing some brush-like colors. But we will process this data. We will get some interesting information. For that, I will just simply do some analysis over here. Uh, in raster data processing, some projections will be there. Right now, it will be in WGS 1984 projection. I am changing this projection into the another projection, UTM projection, which will be meant for better calculations. For calculation purpose, I am reprojecting into local UTM projection. Now I am having a layer like this. After this, I used to use fill sync command, which will be available here. Even by using them, we can able to generate much more layers like slope, aspect, and view shade, hill shade. Most of the things will be possible with them. It is generated, and afterwards we need to do channel generation. These are all our sub layers within the generation process. I will symbolize this layer for better understanding purpose. And I am reassigning colors. This is the data generated in quick time. We can able to get all the remaining layers also. These are the watershed boundaries which are generated naturally uh, with available DEM area. Even you can able to see uh, detailed drainage pattern here, how flow used to accumulate after precipitation. We can able to get some idea over here. This will be the flow direction, and these are all the remaining layers. Anyhow, we are not interested in remaining layers. Just we will see how it will be useful. As I said earlier, it is having some pattern. Here one water body is formed due to the flow accumulation. And here we can able to see these are the areas where the water used to accumulate. Even we can able to see same observation in Google Earth also. It is having much more. We can able to generate data sets like this. It will having here water used to accumulate while precipitation used to occur. All the water used to flow in this paths, and it used to gathered at particular points, and minus streams gathered, and it will become major streams. Major streams used to gather one more time, and major stream used to convert as a river. Anyhow, I take a small portion. That's why we are not seeing much more bigger water body here and rivers. Anyhow, we are getting some brief idea here. This is how water bodies used to form. after flow accumulation. Even we can able to build some three-dimensional models also with reference to them. I will show. Even we will mark this layers also. Giving vertical exaggeration for the better understanding. I will disable this Google satellite imagery, and here we can able to see how the terrain is there over that particular location. This is somewhat elevated portion. When precipitation used to occur, all the water used to precipitate over this region, but it used to gather over here. As we are seeing here, it will be come to this valley region. This will be referred as ridge and valley concept. This will be the these are the ridge portions, and this is the valley portion. Here water used to accumulate. Even we can able to get terrain view also. As we are seeing, it is having some hill type of model over here. We can able to visualize. Even we can able to increase vertical exaggeration also. I will increase much more for visualization purpose. As we are seeing here, this portion, I'm just taking this portion, that's why it's showing only this region. If I add anything apart from this, I will add complete tile for the better demonstration purpose.
I think with respect to ArcGIS, QGIS is very much good. This means to create the terrain. I suffered a lot, but here he is doing very easily.
All the things
Are you having his number? He's your friend,
we can able to handle data easily in this platform.
Mainly, I want that river modeling.
Even you can convert these layers into web map also according to your requirements. This is the layer we have. Just we need to click like this. We used to get some basic
Getting
information
very good notes
and terrain
like
model
this.
like this. After that, in the file, we used to have export to web also there. That option also available. Just we need to click export. Just I will click this link and I will open this portion. Something, something wrong.
The student will not get anything. If they will
Like
see,
that, we can able to export what are the layers present on the desktop. We can able to export that layers. This is the one of the thing available in QGS. So we can able to do much more better things and pretty good things. Even I said Google Earth Pro also here. Just we will see some land related observations also. Uh, just we will visualize this portion will be Hyderabad. I will label for this area, and this is the Hyderabad region. This will be the outer ring road as we are seeing here. It is the outer ring road. Uh, you can able to see. Even I will enable road layer also. This region is meant for outer ring road, and we will zoom to outer ring road. This is the outer ring road. What will be the
this
existence
in
of
government
outer ring road?
government
Uh,
job. How we
it
got
is
this place?
available as an infrastructure right now,
It
but when it is
is
started, we too don't
contracted
know.
base.
To for
Yes,
the
This
better
was
understanding, we
student
will
want
see
to do
with
that also.
time series imagery how it is changing and
this
how
postage in
its surroundings are changing. Even we can do urban sprawl studies also with
Completed kya
reference to
मतलब
Google Earth and Google Imagery.
just you ask
In
him.
2020, as we are seeing here, here date is also changing.
they should have some nectar gate configuration.
We can able to see.
Nectar gate.
I will disable this
Net or
borders and labels.
Nectar gate.
In 2020, it is somewhat like this.
Then they will
In
appoint it as a 2 year
2019, we can
JRF.
able to see changes
After 8 years
in that
field service
particular
JRF,
area.
they are eligible for SRF. After
Still, it
SRF,
is like that only.
SHOC.
There is no
After
much more
project
changes in this
scientist.
particular region. Only seasonal changes we are observing. In 2016, it is like that. This is how it's transforming.
only 11 students. Actually, fourth year student they are having tomorrow they are having off campus. So
Okay.
that's why they are preparing for that. And second year and
It will
third year,
having
some
time
are
series
having
data sets
presentation, some are went for that
to
MSS,
do
some
comparative
went for
studies
that.
also. How
So
it is
many
changing
parts there.
from year to year, we can able to visualize using this data. In 2012 also outer ring load is available as we are seeing here. 2011 also outer ring load is available. We are seeing some distortion here. 2011, 2010. In 2010, there will be 2010 April. There will be no road. Outer ring road is not there. In 2010 April also, outer ring road is not available. In 5 they started construction. That's why we are not seeing blacktop over here. We are seeing blacktop and some construction portion over here. This is how we can able to see how infrastructure is developing and when it is built, what will be the pre-conditions of that particular area. Even we can able to see any particular water body, how it is temporarily varying. In 2010, this water body having only this much water spread in the summer season. But in 2011 January, it is having water spread somewhat greater than earlier. We can able to monitor natural resources also like this. But same scenario in 2012 January, it doesn't have much more water. It having in 2011 January with a great water spread, but in 2012 it shrink again. We can able to do such type of studies and analysis also with reference to imagery. These things will be available in Google Earth, Google Earth Pro. Even we can able to print quick maps also from here. Just we need to click on print. We can able to fix title and description. What will be the imagery date and everything. Even if we add any layers, even we can able to get legend also for that particular layers. These type of things also available in Google Earth Pro. As I said earlier, we can able to access much more data from USGS Earth Explorer. We will see USGS Earth Explorer data also. We will move to India. Our area of interest will be India. We will see Vizag area. In datasets, we have much more datasets. As I said, Landsat datasets are available. Even apart from that, Sentinel data is also available. As I said, Sentinel will have good spatial resolution. We will proceed with Sentinel. In such criteria, I will use map. Datasets already I selected available layers. We will keep cloud cover as less than 10%. After that, we need to click results. It is the footprint of the satellite, how area is to cover in that particular region. This is how this area having satellite imagery for that particular period, especially in the month of October 9th. It will be very latest satellite data. It is since just before 20 days, as we are seeing here. But it has some cloud cover in this portion, as we are seeing some white patches all over. We will go for another data sets. Because of coastal area, most of the times it used to have clouds. To download this data, we need to log in. It isn't showing this icon as enabled. Just we need to log in. Just I'm signing in. I will download this data. Just I'm downloading only natural color, as we are seeing here, fully resolution browse GeoTIFF format. Just I'm downloading this data. Why? Because it will having a much more lesser size. Even we can able to complete our session. Our session is about to end. That's why I'm unable to show bandwise data of the Sentinel. This data also downloaded. This is the condition all over the Vizag and its surroundings. As we are seeing here, what will be the water spread, how it is changing. We can able to get a complete idea of the Vizag and its surroundings, how the terrain is there. Even we can able to see that one also. This is the coastal region. Anyhow, we can able to see all the water bodies, how their water cover is spread all over there. As I said, it will having only 10 meter spatial resolution. We can able to measure cell uh, length also. It's having 20. We can able to get 10-meter resolution data. Uh, this is just simply a mathematical composite. Even we can able to get 10-meter resolution data in this data sets, as we are seeing it having much more bigger size rather than this one. This will have a better advantage rather than this one. I will suggest this data set for the processing. Even we have much more data sets, as I said earlier. It will having all these data sets. You can use these data sets for multiple various applications also. Mm, as we are having only 5 minutes, I would like to uh, explain much more things. These are the data samples. You can able to download data directly by clicking over here. You can able to visualize the data, and these are the open geospatial services. We can able to get some data also for the visualization and downloading purpose. These are the this is the community forces for 4G. It is acronym for free and open source software for geospatial community. These are the mapping tools and softwares for the development purpose. OpenLayers, Leaflet, Mapbox, and GeoServer, MapServer. These are all the mapping services for development purpose. We can also able to prepare Google Maps, like as we are seeing and using day to day life. Even we can able to generate by using these open source tools. All these are open source tools only, as I discussed earlier. If anyone interested to learn much more things in this particular sector, they can able to get certified courses freely from this. ISRI stands for at RGS software is developed by ISRI only. Environmental System Research Institute ISRI is meant for, and it is a applied remote sensing training program. Is a program provided by NASA. We can able to enroll for this program, and we can able to get certification from NASA also. It is also free of cost. As I discussed, our India also providing some basic trainings over geospatial technologies from IARS, Indian Institute of Remote Sensing. Here we can able to get EduSat program newses and certification courses information. Just you need to click here. You will get a brief idea and what are the courses available right now. You can able to get that data. Even you can able to enroll for ESA, European Space Agency geospatial MOOCs and webinars also. It is also free of cost. You can able to get complete idea and good understanding after attending these courses. Mm, if anybody having any doubts, they may ask right now. I can able to address those questions and doubts.
Good afternoon,
Good
sir.
afternoon, sir.
Ah,
Madhusmita
I'm
Ghare,
Madhusmita Ghadai, Assistant Professor in Civil Engineering.
okay, ma'am.
Sir, actually, for modeling a river, so which data set will be good, sir?
Actually, for river-based hydrological applications, we need two data sets. One will be optical remote sensing satellite data, like as I shown, Sentinel data set is available. It will provide only visible information. It will having visual bands like RGB, and apart from the RGB, near infrared, shortwave infrared, all these band-wise information will be there in Sentinel. Sentinel is a satellite mission, ma'am. It will give free satellite data with about 10 meters spatial resolution. Apart from that, for hydrological application purpose, we require terrain data also. Terrain
Yes,
data
sir.
will be having digital elevations and terrain conditions. Why? Because in general, we used to know water always flow downward direction only. It will which are the slope areas and which are in downstream, water automatically used to gather over there. To get that type of better understanding, we required minimum two data sets. One will be elevation data, and another one will be visual data like Sentinel.
Where I will get that data, sir?
As I shown here, yeah, Earth Explorer is there, Naman. Here
Yes.
we are able to get data. It is the Sentinel mission. As we see, these are the water bodies we are seeing over here. It is the raw data only. It is not completely processed even. Just we are getting thumbnail. What will be the data will consist information. It is georeferenced one, and I will overlay to Google imagery also. You can able to see what are the surroundings and all the information here. It is exactly superimposed and overlaid over there. You can able to get what will be the surroundings and what will be the land practice associated with that particular river or that particular stream or that particular water body with reference to this.
Okay,
And
sir.
digital elevation, as I said, DEM is also one of the important parameter. Which are the areas contributing for that particular watershed? Even we can able to that, get a brief idea with reference to DEM.
Okay, sir.
DEM also we can able to download as I shown here. Digital elevation will be there. In the digital elevation, SRTM is available.
Damn that. Okay.
Here SRTM 1 arc second global is there. Already I provided a few links in the presentation. Anyhow, I will share my presentation. It will have much more links rather than description. Uh, by clicking over there, you will get brief information for that. This will be the elevation profile over there. Anyhow, by seeing, we will not get any idea. We need to download, we need to apply some analysis part, then only we can able to get a brief idea.
Sir, to do this work, ArcGIS will be good or QGIS will be good, sir?
As I said, both are good. There will be no issues. Both are depending upon same and similar type of algorithms. But as I said, RGS will be commercial. It will have some different benefits. You can able to not address anything in RGS. Why? Because it is commercial software. What is going behind the screen, that script will be not available for the users. If you do in QGIS, you will get whatever the script and what is the process, how it is depending on that particular algorithm. Entire things will be available. Why? Because it is open source.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much, sir. And it's a very good session. And I learned a lot here. So,
Actually, it
thank you,
is
sir.
having 1 hour time. I would like to discuss much more things, but due to time constraints, I discussed this much only. Even people are having complete idea about GSM remote sensing. Or not, I too don't know. Due to that limitations, I limited this lecture up to here itself. Anyone? Any other
Sir,
doubts from the students?
sir, hello.
Sai, tell me.
Sir, let's just say that I have an area. So because of the rainfall, I'm getting somewhat, I mean, it is somewhat flooded in that area. So using GS, what you have said, so can I design some solution for that in order to discharge that water into certain area?
Yeah, you can able to do one thing. You need to take them. What will be the low-lying areas? You can able to map that areas, and you can able to forecast also. What will be the precipitation rate over that region? At what percent of the precipitation that flood used to occur? Even you can forecast. Even you can suggest some remedies also.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Any questions from participants? Thank you very much, sir, for spending your valuable time with us. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, okay.
Students, you can leave.
I will share this presentation with you. I am already having your mail. I will forward to you, sir.
Okay, sir, sure. Thank you very much, sir.
Uh,